Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Dave.
How are you doing? All right.
We're both doing all right. Right, guys, we're talking today about goal setting. So obviously going into a new season, we've had Dave in the last couple of weeks and we've been doing some how to warm up. Now we're looking at goal setting for his year. So obviously last year we talked about where he wanted to be. And this year we're doing the same, but we're setting it a little bit earlier now and thinking about how we can work on that. And a lot of it's based on what we can see from Arcos. So Dave and his clubs, he bought Arcos, obviously pays for that. It gives you obviously how far you're hitting, but it also starts to show you where you're losing your shots, where you may be gaining.
Yeah, it talks about stroke gained and stuff like that.
Yeah, so where Dave's gaining shots, where he's losing shots. Unfortunately, there's more losing shots than there is gaining shots.
At the moment.
At the moment, but not for this year. So we want to talk about that, and I'm going to put that on the screen now as Dave's going to hit some putts and we're going to talk through it, and we're going to see where obviously Dave needs to improve. We know that Dave's changed his irons, we know he changed his putter last year, and we're going to talk through the different parts of the game. So first of all, we've got driving, then we've got approach, so into the green, then we've got his short game, and then we've got putting. So for you, I want you to think about how would you break it down. You probably don't, you know, a lot of times people come off, Dave's probably done this many times, and I've done this many a time. You miss a few putts, I putted terrible today. And when you go back through the stats, you've actually putted quite well for the day in regards to strokes gained. Your driving's cost you, but you don't think that, because the last thing you do is putt. If you miss one from, let's say you miss one from here, you think that's worse than you hitting a driver out of bounds offline by 70 yards.
Or you're blaming your putts. You've had a couple of three putts all the way around, and you're thinking, putting's been poor. When you look at it, it's actually your short game. You know, you've been chipping really poorly, so you've leaving yourself too long to hole.
Exactly, so either chipping or even approach. I know Dave's approach has improved, but you know, if you're hitting it to 30 feet on average or outside 30 feet, then it's not going to help you. So you're expected to have more than two. You know, tour average from 30 feet, 33 feet on average is to more likely to 3 putt than you are 2 putt. Whereas if you hit it to 40 foot, you'd be like, oh, I need 2 putt from here. Well, you know, you would have not lost shots because that's tour average, but you would be beating yourself up.
Yeah.
Whereas, like we say, with the driver or your approach, it's your approach that you've lost shots with, because you should be hitting it to maybe 30 feet and you've hit it to 40 feet. So it's working out why you've done it. The problem is with putting is it's the last thing you do, so it's always a thing that you blame.
Yep.
Which I find a lot of the time. So Dave's going to hit some putts, we're going to go around, we've got the divide balls, and again we're going to be looking at what Dave has done. So first of all, I was going to use Dave's phone, but we're going to wing it, is Dave's loss or losing 2.6 shots off the tee.
Yep.
So off the tee, Dave's losing a lot of shots. So we can see, obviously, over the last 10 rounds, he's losing more shots than he was before. And as a result, his scores are higher. So Dave's goal, which we didn't set, but he did tell me earlier, is to get down to, hopefully, closer to 10 this year.
Oh, short
again.
Currently
off, short again, always the case. Off, then you're off 13 point...
13.4 world handicap system.
13.4. Dave's losing 2.6, so obviously we'll be very close to getting down to 10 if we could change that around to just being level for his handicap. And on Arcos, as you will see, we've set it to a 9 handicapper. So it's based on getting down to 9 days, losing too much shots off the tee. So if he improves off the tee, he's more likely, as we know, because if you gain or your level, he's going to knock 2.6 off his handicap. Yeah. Then obviously we went into approach, and approach we went down to, let's have a look, to improve with your approach, Dave. Let's double check on your phone, let's have a quick look. Let's check it on Arcos. It is on the screen, and it will be on the screen, but I need to double check. Can't remember off the top of my head. So we're up, let's have a look, we're up by 0.9, okay? So as it says on Arcos, you're gaining 0.9 strokes per round on your approach over the last 10 rounds. You're improving. Well done, Dave.
Hey!
You're improved by 2.6 strokes compared to the previous 10 rounds. So Dave's really improved in that area, and as we know from 3 weeks ago, I'm going to go with off the top of my head, Dave changed
new irons.
Dave changed his irons, he's had them for a couple of months now, he's played 10 rounds at least with them, and we can see that the forgiveness from getting a fitting and changing his irons has allowed him to save some shots. So straight away there, he's saved 2.6 difference, so it's a big, there we go.
Oh, licked it.
Not sure though. So he's saved a lot of shots from his approach, and again, from his irons. So getting fitted for the correct iron, something a little bit more forgiving for Dave, has given him the improvement that we were looking for.
So when we were talking about driving, is it Dave Harrison whose swing's poor, or do I need a new driver?
I'm blaming Dave Harrison, and for Mrs. Harrison's sake, Dave needs a new driver. So, we are going to do a driver and we're going to see what Dave compares. So Dave's going to have a fitted here at Waterfront with Frank. We're going to organise it the next couple of weeks, and we're going to see what he gains, how he gains some shots, does he gain any difference, whether it is the driver or whether it is Dave. We saw that with his putting, it was Dave, he slipped back, he didn't need a new putter, but it was that was costing him. So if we go now to short game, which I'll go on to now, Dave is in his last 10 rounds, you're losing 0.6 per round on your short game over the last 10 rounds, but he is improving because he's losing 0.6 in regards to a 9 handicap golfer, but he's improved by 0.9 compared to his last 10 rounds previous. So although it's down on a 9 handicapper, so we know it needs to improve for him to get to 9 or below the elusive 10, it's better than it was before. So the practice that we did before, where we showed how to practice and has paid off. So we can see that clearly in his scores, and that's where, again, you might be losing shots for that handicap, but you've got better, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's what we want for Dave. And then we go to putting. Putting, we've now gone in.
Stood on the balls.
Dave stood on the golf balls.
Talking balls.
Dave's improved. So Dave's improved by plus 0.1, 0.2 even. So you've gained 0.2 strokes per round on your putts over the last 10 rounds.
Shot again.
But like it said here, Arcos, a great system, he's improving. So over the last 10 rounds, he's gaining 1 shot compared to the 10 previous rounds before that. So to get there, and you can set on Arcos, and it's obviously on the screen now, you can start to set it to what you want to achieve. So if you want to achieve a 5 handicap, it will show you regarding your swing or your performance what you need to do better. And it will highlight the area. And that's the main thing with Dave. Goal setting, we want to be 10 or below.
I want it to start with at least a 1, probably a 1 and a 0, but a 1 to start with.
Yeah, so at least, well, you'd be off 1. So he wants to be 10, that's what we're looking for. Obviously better than the 13.4, was it now?
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to achieve. And we've got the areas we need to work on. So the big 2 for me, for Dave, are his driving, as seems to be a consistent theme. Is it the driver or is it Dave?
Look, and according to Arcos, a lot of where I'm losing those shots is from pure distance.
He's from distance, so Dave's losing a lot. We know his driver's a little bit shorter because we did the video.
It's a 3-wood shaft, yeah.
Previously, it's a 3-wood shaft. So can Dave gain a little bit of distance? If he gains 20 yards, is that going to help him? Which more than likely it would, as long as it's straight. Yeah. Is the elusive. And then short game, he's better, but we can make it better to get to a 9 handicap, and that's again depending on the year, depending on the rounds that are registered, where we're losing shots. And from there, that is now down to Dave, not just Arcos, is to see what kind of lies. Is it certain lies? Is it is it out of bunkers? Is it pitching? Where we're losing those shots in regards to short game.
And probably a lot of it's practice.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of it is practice, and again, we've gone through in the last couple of weeks how to warm up properly. We saw when Dave actually warmed up properly, he had a lot better shots than he would have done normally if he'd just turned up to the range and started hitting balls, which is probably for 95% of people. So Dave's goal was not only to get down to 10 or below, what was your other goal?
To try and improve using the information that I'm getting from Arcos.
Correct, and start using the information from Arcos better. So Dave's paid for Arcos, so he's using Arcos, but is he using it to the full extent? And again, a lot of people will understand if you use stats, when you start to record your data, you'll see what areas of your game you need to improve, and you'll probably not be like what we said at the start where, oh, putting was terrible today. Well, I know, but you've hit it nowhere near the hole, or you've missed every green. You might have hit four greens. Well, you can't.
And that's the kind of thing that it throws up. I always thought that my bad shot off the tee was left. Arcos turns up and tells me that I hit 25% left and I hit 25% right.
Yeah.
I'm just probably not hitting them as far right, or the course that I play it, if you hit it left, you're dead. So.
And that's it. So Dave sees there, well, his right miss is as bad as his left miss, but the main thing that's costing him being off 9 is distance. And distance is down to being a 3-wood shaft in his driver, and then it's down to the driver being fitted correctly for Dave. We've already seen on his approach, like we said, has shot up through the roof. You know, it's 2.6 up on his previous 10 rounds. It's 1 shot per round better than a 9 handicapper. So his irons being fitted and being more forgiving have drastically helped him. So can we get a driver that does that for us? Can that improve, Dave? And something needs to help his
I didn't line the putt up then, fair
didn't
dues.
line it up. But guys, you can see there, goal setting. Dave's got 2 main goals, 10 or below ideally, and also to use his data better throughout the season. So instead of it being this time next year when Dave decides he needs to improve, he can go, right, in January, well, I've struggled, my driving's got better, but I still need that fitting. If it's short game in February, he might come and say, oh, I know I need to improve downhill lies are the one that keep catching me out. There's a lot of downhill lies, or there's a lot of bare lies, and then Dave can get that better before the season starts, because we don't want to be going even into the season not knowing what we're doing wrong and then just being like it's one of those
days. Because by the time you've figured out what is going wrong, you're in June, and that's too late then. You've already lost shots.
We don't want to go then trying to change something drastic in the middle of the season. We want something easy. We want something, okay, I know why I'm doing it wrong. I just need to pay. I need another 20 minutes down at the chipping green one evening after work and just get used to that, and then we can improve as soon as we're into the round. So guys, make sure that you set your goals. Comment below, what are your goals for the season? Is it to get down to 18? Is it get down to scratch? Is it to do X, Y and Z? Is it to hit it further? Is it to chip it closer? Comment below. Let us know what you're trying to achieve, and then obviously from there you're going to be able to set better goals, hopefully lower your handicap, and maybe beat Dave.
Maybe.
No, I'm not saying you will. Right guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
See you soon.